All right, here we go. So for me, I got qualifying for me here. My fastest lap was around the top. So we'll see how it goes. I could hit a 2 around the top. I think some of those guys are actually, I think some of them guys are basically like wide open around the track, and I tried to do that and I could not do it. Oh, and I just pushed right there. God dang it. Did I damage my car? Okay. We'll have to try it again. God dang it. Alright, let's try this again now. No hitting the wall. Off the corner, there we go. .3, I'm a little bit off of my best. My first lap is usually my faster of the two. I don't know why, it's usually the other way around, but for some reason, for qual, I was faster on the first lap than the second. But that's okay, we're starting in the top. We'll be in the top 10, which is all we need. We just need a top 10 start. Well, Kemper, if you freeze, normally there's something that when I was teaching traders this, there was a term that we used to call paralysis by analysis. And what that is that paralysis by analysis is that you would analyze the chart and you could see so many different things that you thought were happening that eventually what would happen is you would make no decision, because you were looking at it and you're like, hey, it's bullish, but it's also bearish, or it's not going to do anything, right? And so that happens in wrecks too. When stuff's happening in front of you, there's so much happening that you're taking in so much information that you basically freeze. And the thing with wrecks is, it's different for different cars, but if you look at asphalt oval, especially on these bank tracks and stuff like that, if it's in a corner, most of the times you're going to want to go higher because the car should slide down. Most drivers don't lock the car down. And then, a lot of it's just instinct. You gotta just, as soon as you see it, listen to your gut and go for it. That's really all it is. And most of the time, it's not gonna work out. Someone's gonna slam into the back of you, or, look at right there. They're already hitting each other. Someone's gonna slam into the back of you, or you're gonna make the move and then a car's gonna come out of nowhere and get into your side. Like, it's just gonna happen. So see, like that right there, I saw that guy coming up, I lifted and I stayed off the throttle because I figured he was gonna hit the wall. For no other reason than just instinct. So I wish I could tell you, like, just trust your gut, but that's really kind of what it is. It's just a gut instinct and feel. And your instincts will develop the more experience you have too. That's another thing. It's like this guy drove it in really deep under me. He's pushing up the track. I can see him. So I went as high as I possibly could to give him room. So it's just developing that feel with experience. Whoa, buddy, watch out. I think you got the wall there. Dang it. I had a feeling he was going to come in. See how the tires looked. 97, 97, beautiful. That's the only thing. God, clean air is amazing. So nice. I think I'm better on the high line in 1 and 2. The thing that worries me though is I'm afraid if I open it up, they're gonna drive in super deep and slide up in front of me, and then we're gonna wreck. So hard here because all you want to do is just smash the throttle. But if you do that, you spin your tires, man. Even up high on new tires, like, you can spin your tires, and so you have to be so patient with the throttle. It's kind of maddening. Like, all I want to do right now is just full throttle it because I know I can get through the corner, but if I do that, I'm going to burn up my stuff. And I did make some, not crazy, but they were significant changes to this setup. This V2 setup is definitely got a little bit of a different balance to it. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm not going to push it so hard that I burn my stuff up, because I don't know how it's going to be after, 15, 20 laps. I don't know for sure. I have an idea, but I don't know for sure. So I'm trying to be smooth here. My first ever NASCAR win came at this track at Old Atlanta. It was in the Xfinity Series. It wasn't in the Cup car, but it was my first ever NASCAR win. And it was the first setup that I had ever built for the Xfinity car. I'll never forget that. We had like a 50-lap green flag run the second half of the race, and my car was just really good on the long run. And I caught the guy and passed him with like 10 laps to go. All right, so far so good. Yeah, this thing feels money right now. We keep pulling away from him more and more. We're gaining almost 2/10 a lap. I don't know if there's a lap car back there, so I wonder if they're having to race that lap car. If that's what's holding them up. Or maybe they're racing each other. Let's use a little break this time on entry and see how our lap time compares. Because once you get the car set, these things are pretty good about driving with the throttle. That's why I set them up so loose. Mine are almost like a dirt car. So that's the main thing, is just getting the thing set in the corner. Once you get it set, then you can pretty much manipulate it any other way you want with the throttle. That's why I love these things. I just wish they had more power. This thing feels incredible, man. Let's see, we did a 32-1-2 running that line we've been running. Top 1 and 2, bottom 3 and 4. Let's run the top all the way around and see what our lap time looks like. (32.2). That was a 32.0. So yeah, we're still a little bit faster running this line. High 1 and 2, bottom 3 and 4. We did a 32.2. I love running the high. I love running the top. That's one thing I love about the new dynamic track is it widens out the groove, man. I mean, you might not always end up like you do here or at like a track like Kansas, but you can move up the track. It's so nice. I love it. My lap times are pretty much the same no matter what line I run, it seems like, within a 10th. The main thing is I seem to be pulling away from the guys behind me no matter what line I run, so that's kind of the most important factor. I got to make sure to give this, as soon as I'm done with this race, we got to get this, I got to get this to the insiders. Remember to do that before we hop into the next race. All right, halfway. I entered that corner a little too low. A lot of these guys are pitting in now. We're going to stay out a little bit longer. The longer we stay out, the harder we can push it during the run. Oh, dude, I like that car. Like a New Year's Eve car. That's pretty cool. Tires were 47 on the right front, 69 on the left front, 80 on the left rear, 65 on the right rear. Percentages don't sound very balanced, but the car felt great. I don't know what those tire readings said, but the car felt amazing. We want to be in the low 31s, high 30s with our lap times. If we're there, then we're pushing it hard enough to be fast, but not so hard that we'll burn up our stuff. Especially since we're in clean air. If we were in the draft, we could be like, 30.8, 30.7, somewhere right around there. But by ourselves, I want to be about 30.9 to 31.1 is kind of the range I want to be in. Those guys undercut me and were on new tires for about, some of them 5 laps, some of them were on, they pitted like 10 laps before me. They closed the gap to, what we got, 3 seconds. So over the long run, we should be good. Running the top here is so tricky because, especially here in 1 and 2, you actually get on the gas and then at the little apex right there, you want to actually kind of back off a little bit more and then pick it up. It's almost like it's got like 2 turns in it, 2 apexes. I know you guys have been like chatting away over there. I'm sorry haven't been able to look. We'll go through the chat at the end of the race. I did not know which way he was going. I thought he was going to stay high. That's why I went low, but it scared me for a minute. Or a second, I should say. Tell you what, man, definitely hit the head of the nail on the setup. This thing feels incredible. But at least for me, it does. That's the thing. You know, it might not feel as good for everybody else, but for me, it feels incredible. Oh! I don't know what it is, man, but I've always loved that Valvoline paint job. I've always loved that paint job. I mean, it's not, don't get it twisted. It's not, you know, late 90s, early 2000s Mark Martin Valvoline, but it's cool. This guy pitted again, I think. I think he did like a 2 pit stop strategy or something. Yeah, once we burn about 6-7 gallons, then we got to start using the brake. I mean, we don't have to, but it just makes the car, it just gets the car set a little bit easier. And in terms of lap time, doesn't look like we're really giving up anything. You might give up a little bit. That's the thing that a lot of people never think of, is gains and losses over the course of 30-40 laps. So one of the tests that I did at was it Homestead? It might have been Homestead. I took the exact same setup, and I did it by myself, and I did a 40-lap run. Exact same setup. And I even turned on the driving line that iRacing has on the track, and I did that so I could use the exact same lifting points. At least for the first like 10 laps when you're on new tires. And I ran a full run, just lifting off the throttle, rolling off, getting on, and then of course as we get deeper in the run, you know, you're having to lift earlier. That's why I said it's only good for like the first few laps, 10 laps or so. But it gives you kind of a reference point. And then I did a 40-lap run where I used brake. I trail braked, and I was only using a little bit. We're only talking like, you know, like here where I'm doing like 5-10%, right? Something like that. Exact same line, everything. My fastest lap was just lifting, and it was like a 1/10 and a half faster. I mean, it was faster by a noticeable, a good margin. And on the 3-lap, 5-lap, 7-lap, and 10-lap average, I was faster by just lifting. Once we got past 10 laps, when we got to 15, 20, and beyond, the brake was faster. And by the end of it, I was a full tenth of a second per lap faster using brake than not using brake, because without the brake I was burning up the tires more. Even though I'm rolling off earlier, backing up the entry, all that stuff like that after those initial laps, like I said, you account for it, but still using the brake was more consistent. It was a 1/10 of a second faster over the course of that entire run, which means that if you look at that, you're talking a 1/10 of a second per lap times 40 laps. What's that, 4 seconds? That's a lot. Like that's one thing that I've noticed this in this Drive Smart thing that we've been doing, because the pro on our team, Logan Clampett, obviously Coke Series Pro, like really good. When he was showing us laps at like Dover, for example, he's using brake every single lap. Even though you can run that place without brake, he's using brake. And it's why over the course of a 50-lap run, he's so much faster than someone like myself, because he's so much more consistent. Like, that's what separates those guys, is the fact that they can lay down a heater, but their fall off in terms of lap time is the tire. It's not air. having flashbacks from the Road to Pro truck race where I was winning by 7, 8 seconds and I got wrecked by a lapper. Thank you. Dang, my shoulder's killing me. We're not being pressured. I don't want to be anywhere close to the wall. We're going to go right through the middle of the track. Yes. And it's been a long time since I had a run like that.